Republican strategist Thomas Rath, who's standing by. Thomas, good to see you again. Your read on what we're watching.
Well, it's kind of playing out like a script that you would write for a movie. There's no surprise here. I think the biggest question will be how many Republican votes in the end of the day go with the Democratic votes. And you said 6. I think if the Republicans could crack into 10 to 12 to 15 votes, that would be making a statement. But this is now playing out like a pre-scripted drama that really is not going to get us anywhere, other than Donald Trump will set the world record for most impeachments.
Yeah, how unprecedented is that to be impeached for a second time?
Well, he'd be the first. It is astonishing to me that we have gotten to this point, or that a president would have allowed his relationship with the country to get to this point. What really is extraordinary is what happened last week. And it was clear that that was done either at the instigation of, or certainly the acquiescence of the president to that kind of rioting and the attempt to basically stop the government. And we've never had a situation like this. And typically, in democracies, part of it is a basic contract that when the people make a judgment, they make a vote, they make a decision as to who their leadership is, leadership accepts that, and government transfers in an orderly fashion. That's not a choice that President Trump has made. I think it's very, very unfortunate, and I think the impact is going to be long-ranging.
Yeah, what do you think the impact is actually going to be for the Republican Party?
Well, in the near term, it's going to be that Trump has got complete control of the Republican Party, and there will be no Republican Party. There'll be a Trump Party. I think in the longer term, the Republicans have a challenge, and that is to establish an identity and a method of dealing with issues that's different than and very much contrast to Donald Trump, and get us back into the mainstream of American political tradition, democracies all over the world, where there is a party in power, there's another party that is an opposition party, but it is done, you color within the lines. We need to get back to that. I'm not sure that's possible as long as the personality of Donald Trump is significant on our landscape.
As we watch this historic day unfold, Thomas, just to remind our viewers what they're seeing, different members of Congress are standing up and they are either supporting or are against the vote to impeach Donald Trump for the second time. That vote is set to begin in the next hour or so. We'll see how that plays out. Is there any risk here to the Democrats by moving so quickly on such an accelerated pace? I mean, last time around, seems like forever ago, was actually about a year ago. They took about 3 months or so to get to an impeachment. Now it's been like just a couple of days.
Well, it's like we're seeing it all in real time. I mean, we saw what happened. It was on all the televisions. You couldn't avoid it for 2 or 3 days as to the concept of, destroying our manner of government. And that was played out in prime time. There's no surprise. There's no evidence. There's no, some witness that's going to come forward and explain it differently. So it is very much a media spectacle, both the event of the storming of the Capitol and this today. What is different today, and I continue to say you ought to watch it, are the number of Republican votes. I've heard that they may get as many as 15 to 20. That's a pretty significant amount. Moving away from the president. And that means that the president's support, even within the Republican Party, has eroded somewhat.
Hey, I've got one more for you. I know that some Republicans, as they're trying to make the political calculus here, which way to go, stand with Trump or not, some of them have said, we need to look very carefully at who was out there last week. And there were a lot of people who don't even consider themselves Republicans anymore. And we need to be very careful about how we handle this. You try to ride the whirlwind, you end up sometimes reaping it as well. Your read on that?
I'm a Republican, and that was not my Republican Party that you saw in the on Pennsylvania Avenue last week, storming at the Capitol. It's not the party that a lot of Republicans who've been Republicans for their whole lives believe in. You win elections and you lose elections, and you abide by the result of the election, and you try to make a better case for the electorate the next time you go through. You don't take it to the streets. And this is a group that has seized control of the mechanisms of the Republican Party now, that has respect neither for law or for tradition. And I think that's very unfortunate.
Thomas Rath joining us from New Hampshire, Republican strategist. Hey, good to have you part of our conversation today.